In Universe 6, Hit had just arrived to his lair. He had a new order of work, but this time it was something much more complex. When he saw one of the pillars where the indications are left to locate his victim, a mysterious voice would be heard. "Hit, I need you to kill a few people in a big job," said the voice. "I hope you have the skill to do this." "I can do any job, just tell me who they are," said Hit. "You have to kill the gods," said the voice. "Okay, when I mean any job, this only contemplates the mortals," said Hit. "Don't you have what is needed for this?" asked the voice. "It's not as easy as you ask. Nobody faces the gods, not even me. Sorry, you'll have to ask me something else." "If you don't, the universes are in danger," said the voice. "I'm not a hero, I'm a murderer," said Hit. "I need a murderer to do this job," said the voice. "It's not about power, it's about precision, stealth, discretion. Accepting your job and losing your life would be failing my job. Keep that in mind," said Hit. Goku would come. He was already a friend of Hit. "Goku, I'm in a private meeting. Come back later," said Hit. "I'm sorry, I also come here for my orders," said Goku. "Is he another murderer? Ask for his help," said the voice. "No, he's not a murderer," said Hit, "and he's not going to help me. I'm hired to defeat very strong people, not to kill," said Goku. "Sometimes I kill them, but those are not my intentions. Mine is more of a warrior." "Interesting," said the voice. "Hit, how good is he?" "It's a terrible idea. He's a very stupid beast. He's a martial arts fighter. He destroys cities. I do precise work without making noise," said Hit. "If someone is strong, count on me," said Goku. "Let's say you have to kill the gods," said the voice. "Gods? Does that exist?" said Goku. "Of course, but there are very evil gods that destroy everything, and I need someone to defeat them," said the voice. "Goku, you don't know anything about the gods." "It's not as easy as it seems," said Hit. "You can explain it, Hit. As matter, you'll be his guide," said the voice. "Great, we'll work together," said Goku. "Then don't say more. Hit, I'll pay you double for you and your friend," and cut the communication. "Damn," said Hit. "Hey, you don't look happy," said Goku. "No, I'm not," said Hit. "Heavens, Goku, the gods are the last thing we have to face. You didn't have to open your mouth." "Hey, no problem. You look for them, you study them, and I defeat them," said Goku. "Kill! We have to kill them," said Hit. "I like how it sounds. To survive," said Goku. "Whatever," said Hit in a bad mood. "Now we'll have to have a serious talk." Hit would explain to him about the gods of destruction. Goku, instead of being nervous, felt really excited. "Wow, I can't believe it! I want to finish them right now," said Goku. "You're a fool," said Hit. "It's a suicide mission. I already explained to you that the gods of destruction dominate the Hakai. They can destroy anything without making the slightest effort." "Then just dodge it and that's it," said Goku. "Heavens, you make it look so easy," said Hit. "Listen, I'll take a few days to find out which is the strongest god of destruction. In the meantime, don't do anything." "Can I look for someone?" said Goku. "Don't do anything," said Hit. "Heavens, I'm traumatized," said Goku. Hit would do an extensive research on the 12 gods of destruction. It wouldn't be an easy mission, so he couldn't have as much information as he wanted. Even so, he would be able to find something, enough to understand that Caulifla was the god of destruction, less skilled and with less special techniques. After having him in sight, Hit would go for Goku. "Very well, this is the plan," said Hit. "You take me, and I'll do it in pieces," said Goku. "Damn, he's going to give me something." "It's the stupidest plan I've ever heard," said Hit. "Come on, I think you're exaggerating," said Goku. "We will go to Universe 4. We will visit his planet. In stealth, you will see what destruction is capable of," said Hit. "As you say," said Goku with an expression of boredom. A day later, Hit and Goku were close to Quitella's planet. They would reach him without drawing attention. Hit would touch Goku's shoulder, and he would use a technique that would make them invisible and intangible. Both would approach carefully. They would see Quitella bow through the place as if nothing. Suddenly, Quitella would turn. He would observe where our friends were. "Damn, he saw us," Goku would think, terrified. Quitella would turn, ignoring that feeling. Hit would give a signal to Goku. Both would advance. Behind Quitella, Hit would interrupt his technique. He would throw a rock up with a wide angle so that when it fell, it would do so on Quitella. And this way he would come to think that it was something that he rode for a risk. Hit would use his stealth technique again. Quitella would observe the sky. He would see the rock that was about to fall on him, but this would disappear with energy of destruction. Goku would be paralyzed with fear. That was, Goku would think, terrified. After that, Hit and Goku would leave the planet. They would go to another place farther away. "Now do you understand?" Hit would ask. "I can't believe we can be stronger than him, and even so, he would disintegrate us," Goku would say. "That's why I told you that you shouldn't take the gods. And we were lucky," Hit would say. "They are always accompanied by an angel that are much more powerful than them. Although they can't intervene, but they have unique skills that are very useful for the destruction guys. Wow, it's not funny to fight like that. It's like they just get rid of you and that's it," Goku would say. "That's why I didn't want to accept this job. In a second, you disappear," Hit would say. "I know. I have a plan." "What are you talking about?" Hit would ask. "I have a friend who owes me a favor, but he's in Universe 7. Surely he will know how to help me with this," Goku would say. "Remember that missions are secret. You can't talk about it," Hit would say. "I don't need to do it. Just follow me," Goku would say. Goku and Hit should go to Universe 7. There they would go to the planet of Chusonasama, that being that is known for knowing everything. "What kind of place is this?" Hit would ask. "Don't worry, my friend Chusonasama lives here," Goku would say. "Chusonasama knows everything, and since I saved his life a while ago, he told me that if one day I needed to ask him a question, I would just come." "Wow, how convenient," Hit would say. "Yes, because if he didn't owe me a favor, I would have to make an appointment in 7 years. "Whatever, let's do this once and for all," Hit would say. Hit and Goku would finally go. "Goku, good to see you," Chusonasama would say. "Hello, I'm sorry to come this way, but I have to ask you a favor," Goku would say. "Of course, no problem. Tell me what you want to know," Chusonasama would say. "I need to know if you know something that is immune to Hakai." "Why do you ask that?" Chusonasama would say nervously. "I can't say it. I'm sorry," Goku would say. "Besides, I'm the one who asks the questions." "Wow, what a compromising question. I hope you're not going to do something that involves me," Chusonasama would say. "Not at all. Just tell me the answer," Goku would say. "Okay," Chusonasama would say. "There is something called implacable rings. They are rings forged by the best blacksmith in Universe 6. They are rings that when you put them on, they cancel out any kind of Hakai energy. But if you take them out, the Hakai can affect you." "So where is that blacksmith?" Goku would ask. "It's a question," Chusonasama would say. "Come on, you didn't answer it completely. You usually do a Wikipedia of what they ask you," Goku would say. "I don't care. I don't usually get into trouble," Chusonasama would say. "I know who that blacksmith is," Hit would say. "You know?" Chusonasama would say. "I don't answer questions," Hit would say. "Let's go, Goku." Hit and Goku would get out of there. "Do you really know?" Goku would ask. "Yes, I bought some things for him," Hit would say. Hit and Goku would reach the planet of this mysterious blacksmith. Hit would recognize him instantly. Hit, long time, Blacksmith would say. I don't have time for greetings. I need an order, Hit would say. Sure, just tell me what I have to do for you, Blacksmith would say. Implacable rings, Hit would say. Don't tell me you're going to fight against a god of destruction, Blacksmith would say. Let's say I need protection, Hit would say. Okay, I'll make you one, Blacksmith would say. 4, Hit would say. You're sick, it's a lot of work, Blacksmith would say. I said 4, insistent, Hit would say. Whatever, I hope you bring good money, Blacksmith would say. As always, Hit would say. Hey, why 4 rings? Goku would ask. 2 for each one, Hit would say. But 1 is enough, Goku would say. And if they cut your hand where you wear it, Hit would ask. Wow, I hadn't thought about it, Goku would say. I'm glad you're Hit. Hours later, the 4 rings were ready. Hit would give him the money and take them. I just hope you don't get me in trouble. If someone asks who did it, I didn't go, Blacksmith would say. Then pack your things and go, Hit would say. What are you talking about, Blacksmith would say. Well, someone knows, and it was he who sent us here. Besides, he said you're the only one. And because he was so nervous when he asked you about something that would work against the Hakai, I think he will speak. Hit would say. Hey, Susanoo-sama is not like that, Goku would say. It was with Susanoo-sama. Heavens, it's time to leave the trade, Blacksmith would say. Susanoo-sama has direct contact with the gods. Really? Goku would ask. Hit, annoying, would observe Goku. Good idea, Hit would say. Now they know we're after them. Susanoo-sama is my friend. He wouldn't betray me, Goku would say, offended. You're naive, Hit would say. Hit and Goku would return to their refuge while they reformulated their plans. At that moment, Whis just woke up Beerus from his nap. I'm sorry to have to wake him up like this, Whis would say. I hope it's for something important, Beerus would say. Sir, I spoke with Susanoo-sama. Someone wanted to find out about the implacable rings, Whis would say. Do you mean those rings that make their user immune to Hakai? Beerus would ask. I thought all the blacksmiths who knew how to do it were gone. Well, it turns out not. There's one left in Universe 6, Whis would say. 2 people asked about him, a Saiyan and a killer. Well, tell Champa, if they're from that universe, it'll be his problem, Beerus would say. But he's not going to do anything? Whis would ask. Even without Hakai, the gods of destruction are the most powerful beings in each universe. I have no reason to do anything, Beerus would say. Just tell Champa to make sure to destroy the last blacksmith, and that's it. As you wish, Whis would say. Hours later, both Goku and Hit were planning what to do. Heavens, this seems more difficult than I thought, Goku would say. But at least now they won't be able to disappear. Just remember what I told you. Hit and Goku were planning their move, so they would start with Caulifla. In the same way that before they would go to visit him stealthily. He was at risk. He seemed to be distracted at that moment. Hit would throw himself at him, attacking with the edge of his hand straight to the neck to cut off his head. But before he could do it, Caulifla would hold him by the wrist. Wow, how brave to try it, Caulifla would say. It's not true, Hit would say. Caulifla would attack with Hakai's energy, but he would realize that it would have no effect on Hit. How is it possible? Caulifla would say, astonished. Hit would move away to be able to free himself. How is it possible that you are immune to Hakai? Furious, Caulifla would ask. Hit would not answer. He would put himself on guard. Damn, the gods are not beings that we can underestimate, Hit would think. Hey, it would be better if you talk and say where you come from. It is not normal for a mortal to dare to face a god of destruction, Caulifla would say. I have nothing to say, Hit would say seriously. Oh, I understand, Caulifla would say. Did I destroy your planet? Or maybe your mother or your wife? Hit did not react to Kitela's comments. Anyway, Hit would throw himself at Kitela. He would attack him with agile blows, but the god of destruction dodged each of the attacks. Damn, he moves as if I were really slow, Hit would think. After several failed attempts by Hit to attack him, Kitela would hit his stomach, causing him damage. Hit would cough some blood, keeping the guard open. Then, Kitela would hold him by the neck and begin to squeeze him hard. "It would be better if you talk before I eliminate you," Kitela would say seriously. "How is it possible that you are immune to Hakai?" Hit would try to free himself, but it would be really impossible. Then, Goku would arrive with a powerful fist blow on Kitela's face. In this way, the god of destruction would be fired far away. "I could against him," Hit would say. Yes, of course. You almost broke his hand with your neck," Goku would say. Kitela would return. He was really furious. "Disgusting worm," Kitela would say out loud. "Ugly mouse," Goku would answer. Goku would transform into Super Saiyan. He was ready to fight. "I guess this is your turf," Hit would say. "Very well, Kitela, it's time to defeat you," Goku would say. "I see you came to protect your boyfriend," Kitela would say. "Come on, I'm waiting for you." Goku would raise his ki to the maximum. Kitela did not look impressed at all. Then Goku would rush towards Kitela. He would attack with a series of blows that would have no effect. Kitela moved from side to side, dodging each of those attacks. "It can't be, it's too strong," Goku would say. Kitela, with a kick under his chin, would lift him from the ground. Goku would fall to the ground with a strong pain in his jaw. "Damn, it's very strong," Goku would say. "I still don't understand what they're doing here and why they attack me," Kitela would say. "I guess they do know what a god of destruction is. They must have a strong purpose to do something like this. I come to fight with very strong people, and they told me that you are someone like that," Goku would say. Kitela, in a second, would reach Goku. He would rest his hand on his chest and use Hakai's energy. Even so, he wouldn't be able to destroy him. "You too?" Kitela would say, confused. Goku would answer by hitting his face. He would barely move it. Kitela would watch Goku with hatred, and he would realize that the difference in power was too big. Kitela, with a burst of ki, would throw him far away. "They made a serious mistake in underestimating me," Kitela would say. "I don't care if I can't get rid of them. Even so, I'll kill them." Hit would place himself next to Goku. He would help him fight Kitela. "A little help wouldn't hurt me," Goku would say. Hit and Goku would throw themselves at Kitela. They would start attacking him wildly, but none of their attacks would work. The god of destruction was incredibly agile. In a moment, Kitela would hit Hit and Goku in the chest, leaving them seriously injured. Both would fall to the ground without being able to get up. "Now, I want you to tell me why you attacked me," Kitela would say. Goku would force his ki, and he would throw himself again at Kitela. He would attack him with a fist, but Kitela would hold his hand, holding the attack. Then he would squeeze Goku's fist, putting great pressure. Goku would scream in pain. He couldn't free himself. "Let me go," Goku would say.
"I won't do it until you tell me why they attack me," Caulifla would say. It's hard to believe that two people attack a god of destruction without a purpose. Hit would use his jump in time. He would throw himself at Caulifla, colliding with him, and he would stop the technique. Caulifla would leave a few meters, and that's when Hit would take advantage to run away with Goku. He would take him by the shoulder, and they would disappear using their stealth technique. Moments later, we see Goku and Hit somewhere in Universe 4. "Heavens, that was very dangerous," Goku would say. "I never met someone as strong as him. He's a bastard, he almost kills us." "And what is the weakest of all the gods?" Hit would say. "That excites me a lot. It makes me want to get stronger," Goku would say. Suddenly, Goku would feel a blow to his neck, but he hadn't seen anything. "Damn, your jump, in time. That happens to you because of Bokan," Hit would say. "And for you to understand that not everything is brute force." "What do you mean?" Goku would ask. "That this job is not for either of us," Hit would say. "It's better to retire from this." "But you never left a job," Goku would say, disconcerted. "Well, for everything there is a first time," Hit would say. Goku would leave there. Goku didn't want to leave the job. More than anything, his warrior pride didn't allow him to take a step back after a defeat. Meanwhile, Bardoss would give the news to Champa. "Mr. Champa, it seems that two subjects bought implacable rings," Bardoss would say. "So that warrior is still doing it? We have to eliminate him boldly," Champa would say. "And that he doesn't know who bought the rings," Bardoss would say. "Two stupid people who think they can beat us," Champa would say. "One of them is Hit," Bardoss would say. "Hit?" Champa would say. "That's right. He has gone with a Saiyan friend of his, Nozama. This Saiyan asked for something that would make him immune to Hakai. And so everything happened. Well, I guess I can't go against the nature of a hired killer," Champa would say. "But preparing to defeat gods of destruction is something that does not suit him." He also received a message from Universe 4. Caulifla fought against them. Apparently, they managed to escape thanks to the leap in Mr. Hit's time, Bardoss would say. "If he knew how bad-tempered Caulifla is right now, I think you already know what you have to tell him to find him," Champa would say. The next day, Hit would go to his lair. He was about to quit his job, but Goku would arrive to avoid him. "Hit," he would call Goku seriously. "Go away," Hit would say. "You can't quit this job," Goku would say. "It's my job, and you're just an assistant, so you better get out of here," Hit would say. "Come on, you can't be like this to me," Goku would say. Goku, the terrain of a killer, is full of traps, obstacles, lies, and betrayals. It's a dark place that you don't have to enter. Follow your path as a warrior and be stronger, Hit would say. This is over. The roof would be destroyed with Caulifla's arrival. The god of destruction was really furious. "It can't be," Goku would say. "Damn bastards, with what they got the implacable rings." Caulifla would say, "It's not true. How did you get here?" Hit, furious, would say. "That doesn't matter. The only thing they have to know is that it's time to kill them," Caulifla would say. Caulifla would throw everything at Goku and Hit. She would start attacking them with all her strength. Neither of them would have a chance against him. The situation became more and more tense. As much as they tried, Quitella's strength and speed was superior to them. In a moment, Quitella would give a precise blow to each one, leaving them on the ground. It's an insult to the gods that two mortals try to kill us, Quitella would say. Dear God, what did they have in their heads? Quitella would kick Hit, making him crash against the wall. Leave him, Goku would say, but Quitella wouldn't stop. Quitella would go for Hit. She would hold him by the neck. Do you know why we went for you and not the others? Hit would ask. What are you trying to say? Quitella would say in a bad mood. It's because you're the weakest of all, Hit would say. Goku would stand up. He would try to defend Hit, but it would be too late. Quitella would attack Hit with a blow that would pierce his chest from side to side. Hit! Goku would scream furiously. Hit would manage to make the jump in time, but when he freed himself, he would fall to the ground. It was a little late to make that jump in time, Quitella would say. Your god of destruction already told me about you. Goku would hurriedly throw himself at Quitella. He would attack him with all his strength, but Quitella, with a simple blow, would leave him on the ground. Goku would fall near Hit. He would see how he would put his eyes in white. No, Hit, Goku would say. You can't die. Goku would move Hit from side to side, but he wouldn't answer. Curse! Goku would say out loud. Now it's your turn, Quitella would say by pointing at Goku and attacking. Goku's anger increased more and more. He hated Quitella with all his heart for having killed Hit. You're a rat, Goku would say. It would be better if you let me go before you regret it, Quitella would say. And what are you going to do? Goku would ask. Goku would squeeze Quitella's neck with force. He refused to let go. After a few seconds of pressure, Quitella's body would give in, ceasing to resist. He had vanished. Miserable, Goku would say. Goku would throw Quitella far away, and with a ray of ki, he would completely exterminate him. After that, Goku would observe his hands. He would feel that strange reddish energy run through his entire body. I wonder what this is, Goku would say. He said something about the ki of a god, but I don't understand it. Goku would return to the lair. He would connect with that voice that asked Hit for the job. Hey, I want to know who you are, Goku would ask. I think you're new at this kind of job. But he doesn't get used to revealing the identity of the contractors, the voice would say. Hit is dead, so he won't be able to fulfill your request. Goku would say. I understand, but that avoids you from doing it, the voice would ask. I will do it, but it will be a new contract and under my terms, Goku would say. I'm listening, the voice would say. I want to know who you are, because it's about eliminating the gods, Goku would explain. And the price won't be with money, it will be with something else. What do you want? The voice would ask in a strange tone. I already eliminated a god of destruction. If I eliminate the other 11, you will revive Hit, Goku would say. What makes you think I have that kind of ability? The voice would ask. I don't know, but do you want to kill gods? You're definitely not an ordinary person, Goku would say. The voice would remain silent for a moment before speaking. I can't revive people, but I know a way for you to take care of reviving him, the voice would say. If that were true, what guarantee do you give me? Goku would ask. I don't even know who you are. I'm someone who pays a lot of money to kill the gods of destruction, the voice would say. Imagine that I'm not a Denadian. It works for me, Goku would say. You better keep your word. It will be so, the voice would say. Moments later, the Angel of Universe 4 would be in charge of giving the news to the rest of the universes. None of the gods could believe that Caulifla was defeated by a mortal. Wow, that doesn't happen every day, Vados would say. It's incredible. That Caulifla is a good-for-nothing, Champa would say. We have to find those two once and for all. Hit died, Vados would say. Wait a minute. Hit died and the Saiyan is alive? Champa would ask. That's right. It seems that he is not an ordinary being because he managed to obtain the key of a god. I don't believe you, Champa would say. Well, that's what his angel said, Vados would say. After that, we see Goku arrive at the planet of Xeno-sama. Goku would pass by the guards for a long time. Goku? Xeno-sama would say when he saw how annoying a guy was about to ask his question. But Goku would throw him away. Damn, I thought we were friends, Goku would say. Goku, wait. I can explain it, Xeno-sama would say. Fine, do it, Goku would say. I'm sorry, I can't, Xeno-sama would say something sad. Damn, I knew it, you sold me, Goku would say. You don't understand. You asked for something very dangerous. Nobody knows about those things. If they see you with the implacable ring, they will know that I told you, Xeno-sama would say. Hit is dead, Goku would say. Oh, I'm sorry, Xeno-sama would say. We'll just fix this in one way. Will you answer a question in exchange for your life? Goku would say. I guess I have no choice, but don't be about the gods. I don't want to have problems with them, Xeno-sama would say. I want you to explain everything you know about the key of a god, Goku would say. The key of a god? Xeno-sama would say. That's right, don't play dumb, Goku would say. Okay, I'll tell you, Xeno-sama would say. Xeno-sama would proceed to give Goku all the details of what the key of a god consisted of. Goku would be amazed, so he would start training in that aspect. The gods of destruction would be alert, so they would look for Goku everywhere. After a few days, Goku would appear in Universe 11. He would easily find the planet of Bermud with ease. So you are that famous Saiyan, Bermud would say. Of course, Goku would say. Now you better get ready because I'll kill you. Bermud would bow his fingers. He was ready to fight. Let's see who was the braggart who thinks he's better than the gods, just to kill the weakest of all, Bermud would say. Goku would start raising his ki until he achieved the transformation of the Super Saiyan God. What the hell? Bermud would say, disconcerted. Remember when they told you that you reached the ki of a god? Okay, Margarita would say. I never thought it was true. I took it as a simple delirium, Bermud would say. Now you're going to have to play with me, clown, Goku would say. Goku would come to Bermud attacking him with everything. Even so, the god of destruction managed to cover himself from each of his attacks. Not bad, but it's not enough, Bermud would say. Goku would connect a strong punch to Bermud's face, breaking his nose. Then he would kick his stomach, leaving him bent. Then he would detonate a ki ball at short distance, throwing him away. It's easier than I thought, Goku would think. Goku would throw a ki beam at Bermud, but it would disappear before the contact. How? Goku would say, disconcerted. Bermud would appear behind Goku. Everyone would take measures in this regard, so they would have a meeting through the shackles of their angels. We should fight together, Arak would say. Hey, that's for cowards, Jin would say. I killed 2 gods of destruction. I don't think it takes long to select another one, Ramash would say. I think they're afraid because they're aware of how weak they are, Beerus would say. Hey, show some respect, Jerez would say. What's going on? Champa would ask. Are you afraid because you know you're next? What do you mean by that? Jerez would ask. According to our powers, you are next on the list, Beerus would say. Goku attacked the weakest, and then the next one. He will surely be well informed. You behave as if Goku didn't represent a threat to you, Arak would say. Hey, he doesn't represent it, Beerus would say. Beerus would cut the call. Damn, what a proud guy, Jerez would say. If you want, I can give you a hand, Ramash would say. I don't need your help, Jerez would say, cutting the call. The meeting between the gods would end with Jerez scared by Goku's future arrival. Then Champa would communicate with Beerus. You're a bastard! Are you going to let him kill them to end it yourself? Champa would say. You know they're fools. I know, but I also know they're gods like us, Champa would say. The other gods of destruction are much inferior to you. They haven't trained for many years, Vados would say. Although you have neglected your training, you are not in the same situation of abandonment as them. You're right about that, Whis would say. None of the gods have used Ultra Instinct. They're a shame, Beerus would say. Only you and I have done it. That's why I think we deserve to stay alive, and they don't. I wonder if it was you who hired those 2, Champa would say. You know I would never do something like that, Beerus would say. Seriously, I don't know. Lately I can't trust anyone, Champa would say. Moments later, we see Goku arrive at the planet of Jerez. With you being the goddess of destruction, Goku would say. And you, the brave Goku who executes the gods, Jerez would say. I don't like to hurt women, but I have no choice, Goku would say. If you feel Goku was determined to face Hellas, while the goddess of destruction hid her fear. I can feel your ki as it is disturbed. Are you afraid? Goku would say, and that is more than evident. Please, are you trying to intimidate me? Hellas would say. No, I'm just waiting for you to attack me once and for all, Goku would say. Hellas would put himself on guard, although he looked quite scared. I can't let fear dominate me. He's just a mortal, Hellas would think. Hellas would attack with a ki beam, but Goku would easily dodge it. Then Hellas would create several ki balls surrounding his body and throw them all one after another. Every time he threw a ki ball, a new one was created. Goku dodged attacks with great ease, despite not using the Super Saiyan God. It can't be that a mortal can reach that speed, Hellas would say. Suddenly, Goku would reach Hellas and connect a strong punch to his stomach. Hellas would cough up some blood. Then Goku would kick her, throwing her a few meters away. "You don't even offer resistance. You look weaker than Quitella," Goku would say. Hellas would smile. He would rest his hands on the ground. From where Goku was, keychains would come out of the ground that would catch him on his legs and arms. Goku would be imprisoned in them. "Idiot! Just pretend to lower your guard," Hellas would say. Hellas would snap his fingers, creating several key arrows pointing to Goku. "It's your end, God Executor," Hellas would say. Hellas would give the signal and throw the key arrows at Goku. Goku would scream, raising his power to the maximum, transforming into Super Saiyan God. In this way, he would destroy the chains that imprisoned him and also disintegrate the key arrows. "How is it possible?" Hellas would say, terrified. Hellas would appreciate Goku's great power. The one who managed to kill Quitella and Bermude with his own hands. "This has to be a joke. A mortal cannot have the ki of a god," Hellas would say. "That was very disappointing for you," Goku would say. Araki, Wan, and Likir would arrive. "With 3 more gods coming," Goku would say, confident. "What are they doing here?" Hellas would ask. "I warned their angels." The Angel of Universe 2 would say, "It was seen that he would need help. You didn't have to do that behind my back," Hellas would say, upset. "If I didn't, you'd be dead," Araki would say. "They say it as if you could against me," Goku would say. "I think you're trusting yourself because you got the ki of a god," Likir would say. "We are not common and ordinary gods. We are the gods of destruction, the strongest," Wan would say. "That's not true. They're just bragging," Goku would say. "The strongest gods are from Universe 6 and 7. "What are you talking about?" Araki would ask, upset. "Wow, they act as if they didn't know," Goku would say. "The Champa and Bill brothers are stronger than you, and they're the ones I really have to worry about. You're just trash. I'll make you swallow your words," Wan would say. The 3 gods of destruction would throw everything at Goku. They would start attacking all 3 at the same time. Goku would manage to dodge the attacks of the 3, but it was difficult for him to find a way to counter them. "I see. These 3 know each other," Goku would think. Goku would create a ki explosion to get rid of them. He would manage to separate them. Then Goku would go to Araki with a kick in his stomach that would expel him at great speed. The rest could not believe it. It was a good warm-up. Now to fight seriously, Goku would say. Goku would raise his ki to the maximum to fight with all his powers. He would go against the 4 gods of destruction, including Jerez, connecting a severe blow to each one. The 4 would be really hurt. Goku didn't seem to have limits. "Every time I face one of you, I feel my powers rise," Goku would say. "So give it your best so I get stronger. Let's make that attack." Araki would say, "Are you referring to the Trinity? But it's dangerous even for us." Likir would say, "We have no choice." I would say the same. "What are you talking about?" Jerez would ask, confused. The 3 gods of destruction would position themselves at one end each. The 3 would raise their ki to the same level. It's as if their energies complemented each other. Goku would say when observing everything carefully, "Now!" The 3 gods of destruction would scream. Above Goku would form a triangle of ki that would shine with a magic of colors. "This is serious," Goku would say. A great ray of energy would come out of the triangle towards Goku. With his hands, he would be able to resist it just in time. But the effort he was making was abysmal. "Damn, this is too much," Goku would say. "A little more, you won't be able to resist it much more," Araki would say. Goku would not resist it anymore, and a great explosion would occur over him. Rays of energy would come out everywhere, and the explosion would expel the gods far away. Everyone standing up would see a large well on the ground with Goku lying down, and the upper part of his uniform made into pieces. "They did it," Jerez would say. "Heavens, that was very dangerous," Araki would say when standing up, but instantly he would fall on his knees. "We spent all our energies on this, but it was worth it," Lakir would say. To everyone's surprise, Goku would get up, although with difficulty. None of those present could believe it. "It's not true," Araki would say, disconcerted. That did hurt," Goku would say. Goku would sit on his back, and this would hurt him. "My God, it was stronger than I thought," Goku would say. "Even so, he managed to move freely." "But is he immortal?" Lakir would ask. "None of that. I endured the attack at first, and that helped counteract it," Goku would say. "I only received a part of the damage. We have to attack him now that he's weak," Iwai would say. "Weak? Look at yourself," Goku would say. And it was true. The gods of destruction were in worse shape than Goku. They spent so much energy on that maneuver that they ended up losing. "Anyway, I have to congratulate them. It was amazing," Goku would say. Jerez would create a key sword, and with it he would attack Goku. He would hold the edge with one hand. "No, it's not enough," Goku would say seriously. "Damn it," Jerez Furioso would say. Goku would squeeze his hand by breaking Key's sword. After a powerful kick in Jerez's face, he would throw it far away. Jerez would lose his life by breaking his neck. The others didn't know what to do. Goku was an unstoppable being. "I don't understand how it's possible," Arak would ask. "One of yours killed a loved one, and that gives me strength to consume my revenge," Goku would say. Goku would arrive in front of Arak in an instant. With a ray of ki, he would disintegrate completely. Then he would go to Lakir. With a hammer blow to his neck, he would take his life away instantly. When he reached Iwan, he would pierce his stomach as if nothing. Goku would finish off the 4 gods of destruction, leaving only 6 to eliminate everyone. Beerus and Champa would be notified of the casualties. They were gathered in Universe 7. Those fools only made a fool of themselves. After all, they lost like the worst. "I told you, remember that when you face us, it will be your end," Beerus would say. Goku would arrive in front of Arak in an instant. With a ray of ki, he would disintegrate completely. Then he would go to Lakir. With a hammer blow to his neck, he would take his life away instantly. When he reached Iwan, he would pierce his stomach as if nothing. Goku would finish off the 4 gods of destruction, leaving only 6 to eliminate everyone. Beerus and Champa would be notified of the casualties. They were gathered in Universe 7. Those fools only made a fool of themselves. After all, they lost like the worst. "I told you, remember that when you face us, it will be your end," Beerus would say. "They could go for him now, before he gets stronger. Each fight elevates his power," Whis would say. "I think it is irresponsible to allow a mortal to continue to strengthen," Vados would say. "It's okay," Champa would say. Let him finish off the 4 who, after all, are useless. Then I don't want to hear complaints, Whis would say. On the planet of Zenozama, the king of everything was with Daishin Khan. They had just witnessed the massacre that Goku was doing. That Goku seems very strong, Zenozama would say. It's very fun to see him fight. Indeed, great lord, Mr. Goku has shown that a mortal can rival the gods, Daishin Khan would say. If the gods of destruction cannot stop a mortal rival, they do not deserve to occupy their positions. I wonder what will happen when Champa and Beerus face each other, Zenozama would say. Oh, I think that will be sooner than expected, Daishin Khan would say. Goku would travel to the missing universes and eliminate the rest of the gods without any problem. Only Champa and Beerus remained. The gods of destruction were together on the planet of Beerus. Goku would go for Champa to Universe 6, but he would not see him anywhere. That damn Joron must be with his brother, Goku would say. I guess I'll have to fight both. Goku would go for Beerus, and indeed he would find them both. So you are the legendary Goku, the executor of gods, Beerus would say. But what do I see? If they are the fat and the skinny. Goku would say, Hey, be careful with your words, Champa would say. So I'll fight both? Goku would ask. Please, you don't deserve it either, Champa would say. Champa would take a step forward. He would be the one who would fight Goku. I will be your rival, Champa would say. Wow, I think you have a lot of faith, Goku would say. I hope you don't regret it. Champa would raise his ki to the maximum. Goku would be impressed. He knew that Champa would not be an easy rival. Goku would transform into Super Saiyan God, but Champa did not look intimidated by it. Come on, I'm waiting for you to attack me, Goku would say. Champa would throw everything at Goku with a strong punch. Goku would cover himself. The rebound of the blow would cause a great wave of energy. You could see in Goku's eyes how impressed he was. I'll finally have a real rival, Goku would say. I'm not like the other gods. Champa would hit Goku's face, forcing him to retreat. Goku would take a few steps back. Then Champa would launch several attacks of ki that would connect on him. After that, he would throw himself, colliding with his body. Goku would hit a risk, breaking him to pieces. I don't think I'll get to fight him, Beast would say. I don't know. Let's wait and see what happens, Whis would say. Goku would come out of the rubble. He looked sore, but also excited. I like this, Goku would say. Goku would force his ki. He would throw himself towards Champa with a fist attack. Champa would hold his fist, but Goku would answer with his free hand impacting his face. Champa would let go of Goku, and he would attack him with a ray of ki at close range. Champa would cross her arms, resisting the attack, although he would retreat, scraping his feet against the ground. Damn disgusting ape, Champa would say. Goku would launch several attacks of ki, but Champa would dodge them all. Suddenly, Goku would appear behind Champa, and with a hammer blow, he would make him fall at great speed. Goku would continue attacking him before he hit, but Champa would manage to stop before touching the ground, and he would answer Goku with a ray of ki wide. Goku would move aside at the right time. Some of his hair would burn from the attack. He released a lot of energy as if nothing. Goku would say, "Good reflexes, boy." Champa would say, "But don't think that with acrobatics you are going to beat me." "I am surprised that with that belly you can move," Goku would say. "Hey, that was offensive," Champa would say. Beerus would start laughing at Goku's comment. "Hey, where are you from?" Champa, furious, would say. "You're right, that belly doesn't let you move freely," Beerus would say. "Very well, it's time to fight seriously," Champa would say, very annoying with his brother. What is going to happen now that Goku is fighting against Champa? Is it that Champa is not using all his power? And even more important, will Beerus intervene in the fight? We will know all that in the next part of this theory. Thanks for watching the fourth part of this theory of Goku the God Executor. Remember to leave your like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to see the next part of this theory, the video has to reach 30 likes, and I will upload it as fast as I can. See you in the next video. Champa and Goku were determined to fight seriously. Both would observe each other seriously. "I won't let you get away with your own," Champa would say. "We'll see about that," Goku would say seriously. Goku and Champa would launch each other like a torpedo. Both would begin to exchange blows with ferocity. Beerus was impressed. Goku was at Champa's level. "What does hatred and resentment do?" Beerus would say. "I wonder if Mr. Goku will be able to beat him. The fight looks very even. He has possibilities," Beerus would say. In a moment, Goku and Champa would mutually hit each other in the face, moving away from the force. Both were agitated. Several attacks had been connected between them. "Disgusting worm," Champa would say. "Shut up, overfed cat," Goku would say, annoying. "I guess I'll have to use the skill of my position," Champa would say. Champa would create a Hakai ball in each hand. "You're also going to waste time with that," Goku would say. "What are you talking about?" Champa would ask. "They have already used Hakai against me, and it has served them for nothing. I am also a god." "We'll see about that," Champa would say. Champa would throw his Hakai ball at Goku. He would hold it in his hand, resisting the destruction. "It's not true," Champa would say, disconcerted. Goku would scream, manifesting all his ki. He would be able to consume the Hakai himself. Both Champa and Beerus were really terrified by what they were seeing. "No, that's not true," Beerus would say. "A mortal can't do that." "Ha ha, I see you scared," Goku would say. Champa would use his other Hakai ball, but it would be the same result. Goku would manage to contain it just by applying a little effort. Beerus looked tense. He didn't want to trust the situation anymore, so he would join the fight. When Champa would see him by his side, he would bother him. "What are you doing?" Champa would ask, annoyed. "I'm sorry, but this is a risk," Beerus would say. "A mortal who can repel the Hakai should not be underestimated. I like it that way, that they know I impose respect," Goku would say. "Damn, now I'm in trouble. Beerus, get out of here, it's my fight," Champa would say. "It's enough. We have to eliminate him as soon as possible without leaving a trace of him," Beerus would say. Beerus and Champa would throw everything at Goku. Between them, they would manage to beat him. The Saiyajin could barely with them. He would receive all the attacks. "Damn, this is too much even for me," Goku would think. "What do you think of this?" Vados would ask. "At this point, I don't know what to think," Whis would say. "Let's wait and see what happens," Vados would say. Goku was in serious trouble. Champa and Beerus did what they wanted with him. At one point, Beerus would manage to knock Goku down with a hammer blow. This would hit the ground with a strong blow. Goku was really hurt. He could barely move. "It's better to end this once and for all," Beerus would say. "Yes, it was enough games," Champa would say. "At last they are going to end all this," Vados would say. Champa and Beerus would throw a great range of Hakai towards Goku. They would stand up just in time. Then Goku would manage to resist the combined attack, but at a great cost of effort. The Hakai would gradually begin to cover his body. It became more and more difficult for him to resist the attack. He got to a point where he couldn't take it anymore. Finally, the Hakai of both gods would explode. Goku would be surrounded by Hakai energy that consumed his energy. But he was enduring it, although at the limit. "How come he hasn't consumed it yet?" Champa would ask. "That's because he has too much energy inside," Beerus would say. "It's just a matter of time for whatever has to happen, Vados would say. The Hakai around Goku seemed to compress, while he kept screaming in pain. At some point, the Hakai energy would be dispersed. Goku would have resisted it, but at a great cost. Goku had lost his transformation. He would fall to the ground with his eyes blank. "It's finally over," Beerus would say. "Damn, this guy is resistant," Champa would say. "Luckily, we killed him, because leaving him alive would be a problem. They could finish eliminating him instead of contemplating it," Vados would say. Goku would get up with difficulty. Champa and Beerus couldn't believe it. "What is this guy who never dies?" Champa would ask, terrified. "Dear God, this is too much," Beerus would say. "Wait, why are we worried? If he couldn't with us anymore," Champa would say. "Look at him in the state he is in." Goku looked agitated. He was exhausted, but he still didn't lose the desire to fight. "You think you won? But you don't know that the Saiyans make us stronger and stronger while the rival is more powerful," Goku would say. Goku would scream, raising his ki to the maximum. Beerus and Champa would be surprised by how he broke his own limits. "This is not possible," Champa would say. "I told them not to trust each other, but they didn't listen to me," Vados would say. Goku would transform into Super Saiyan God again. Despite his lack of energy, the determination in him did not allow him to surrender. He would also keep raising his ki even more. Beerus and Champa would throw everything at him to prevent him from doing something. But Goku would achieve something magnificent by transforming into Super Saiyan Blue. In this way, Goku with a ki explosion would throw Beerus and Champa far away. "And well, that's how it all ends," Vados would say. "I can't believe it. Both are a disappointment," Whis would say. "Damn it, we have to do something," Beerus would say. Goku would appear out of nowhere between Champa and Beerus, and he would hit each one under his ribs. Both gods would cough blood and would be hunched. They could hardly move. "This is over," Goku would say. Goku would try to hit the necks of both gods with the edge of his hands, but they would disappear instantly. Goku would turn terrified. Beerus and Champa were a few meters away. Both looked really calm, with a strange whitish energy that surrounded them. "What is this?" Goku would ask. "So, they are using the Ultra Instinct," Vados would say. "That's what they look like," Whis would say. "Let's see how long it lasts." Beerus and Champa would disappear out of nowhere to reappear next to Goku. Both would kick him fiercely next to his ribs. Goku would cough blood as a result of the imposing blow. Then, Beerus and Champa would kick Goku far away.
He could barely move. "It's better to end this once and for all," Beerus would say. "It's not true. What kind of trick is this?" Goku would ask. Goku would observe his hands. He knew that his state at this level would not last long. "I have to do something, and it has to be now." Goku would throw himself at Beerus. He would attack him with a fist blow. Beerus would move his head to one side as fair and necessary. "It's not true. It's as if he knew how I'm going to attack," Goku would say. Goku would attack Beerus again in the same way, and the same would happen. Then he would attack him with a rain of fist blows, but the God of Destruction would move from side to side with subtle movements. Suddenly, Goku would feel a series of blows arrive at the same time and would be fired far away. Beerus had attacked him with such speed that Goku had not even been able to read it. Goku would fall to the ground. He would stand up again, but really hurt. He knew that time was running out and he had to think about something as soon as possible, or it would be his end. Then Champa would appear in front of him. Goku would attack him, and the same would happen as with Beerus. Champa dodged each of his attacks in the same way. "I don't understand. They behave as if I were nothing to them. What kind of technique is that?" Goku would ask. "That's called Ultra Instinct," Vados would say. "And it is something that only the true gods can achieve." Goku would be brutally attacked by both gods without him being able to do much. In a matter of minutes, we see Goku on his knees coughing blood. He still did not lose his form of the Super Saiyan Blue, but he was about to do it. Goku would stand up. He would try to use his last strength to fight. "Oh no," Vados would say. "Yes, I also realized," Beerus would say. Beerus and Champa would create a great ball of Hakai in their hands, but before attacking Goku, both would suffer great pain. Beerus and Champa would scream like condemned ones, while their bodies suffered from an explosion of internal energy. "What happened?" Goku would ask. "I can't believe it. They took too long," Beerus would say. "Ultra Instinct is going bankrupt due to energy expenditure," Vados would say. Both gods of destruction would scream in pain. All their muscles were contracted. Wastes of dark energy punished their bodies without them being able to move. "So I won," Goku would say. Goku would raise his ki to the maximum to give his last blow. He would close his fists, covering them with ki, and he would throw himself like a torpedo towards the gods of destruction. In an instant, he would hit the chest of each one. Beerus and Champa would give their last breath before dying. "Well, we are left without gods," Vados would say. Indeed. Goku would lose his blue form and fall seated. He was really exhausted, but he felt really happy. "Ah, I finally did it," Goku would say. "Ah, I feel so happy." "Have you noticed that your action will cause imbalance in the 12 universes?" Vados would ask. "It's not true." "The person who hired me said it was for the good of the universes," Goku would say. "And who exactly was it?" Vados would ask. "I don't know. He was Hit's client. If Hit trusts him, so do I. Now I will collect my debt to revive my friend," Goku would say. Goku would leave there despite his wounds. "Who do you think it is?" Vados would ask. "I have no idea," Beerus would say. Hours later, Goku was in better shape. He would arrive at his lair to present his work. The voice would appear. "So you have completed your mission?" the voice would say. "Yes, and it will be better if you keep your word. This trip was harder than I thought, but I still did it," Goku would say. "Good, it's fair," the voice would say. "Now tell me how to revive Hit," Goku would say.
"I will do something better than that," the voice would say. Daishin-kan would finally show up. He was the one who carried out the task. "Wait a minute, are you an angel?" Goku would ask. "Do you look like all the angels I have seen with each god of destruction? I am more than that. My name is Daishin-kan. I am the father of all angels," Daishin-kan would say. "Father of angels?" Goku would say, disconcerted. "Hey, so what's all this about?" "Believe me, his work will prevent the destruction of the 12 universes," Daishin-kan would say. Daishin-kan would snap his fingers. Goku would appear in a strange room. Then Daishin-kan would snap his fingers again. All the gods of destruction would appear as if nothing. "Where are we?" Bermud would ask. "He was supposed to be dead," Beerus would say. "Hey, we had an agreement," Goku would say. "And I will fulfill it," Daishin-kan would say. Daishin-kan would snap his fingers. Hit would appear next to Goku. "Hit, are you alive?" Goku would say. Hit would touch his chest. "I couldn't believe it. That seems..." Hit would say, confused. "What is going on?" Beerus would ask. "I hired Mr. Goku to eliminate them," Daishin-kan would say. All the gods would remain silent before such news. And, "Can we ask why?" Jerez would say. "So they know what could happen if a mortal challenges them, and the result has been more than clear," Daishin-kan would say. "That's why Zenozama has made a tough decision." He would end up saying something furious to Daishin-kan. What could happen now that Daishin-kan revealed to be Goku's contractor?